Well, hello again. This is Low Whisper, and we're back with The Forest for the PC. Now, uh, I haven't played The Forest very long, single player about 5 days, multiplayer about three. I wanted to try something different. Many of you out there maybe just want a relaxing game to play without having to worry about cannibals and things like that. What you can do is you can go into the single player, start your game, and we're going to pick new game in this particular case. We're going to go all the way down here to peaceful. As you see there, it says no enemies in world. Now, to some, that's going to be very boring, and they're not going to want to do that, but that's fine. That's what the good thing about games, and they have these kind of controls where you can set it the way that you want to play and what's comfortable for you. Uh, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and select peaceful under single player. Let that load up. And you always get hints when your game's loading. Explosives and Molotovs are effective against everything. In this case, we don't have to worry too much about it. This is how the game starts. If you kind of turn your head there, you see your son's flying with you. E there, we're going to grab that little book there. If you notice when he picks it up, it tells you it's a survival book, coincidentally.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are
So
now crossing a zone of turbulence.
you can hit space at this point if you want to skip this first little part here, or you can just, if you want the full experience, and figure out to see where you ended up where you were. It's kind of nice to watch all of it. Houston, we have a problem. Kind of traumatic there, so the plane has now crashed. As you can see, you wake up on the floor, there's your son there, and somebody picks him up and kind of walks away with him. You lose consciousness at that point. You wake back up. First thing you want to notice when you first start playing this game, and I may be giving some tips, some hints that someone that wants to go into a game blind and doesn't want to know anything, then you may want to stop watching at this point. But always watch down in the lower left corner. See, it tells you low energy, eat something. I'm hungry, new items been added to my to-do list. They're talking about the to-do list in yellow there under B. That's going to bring up your book. And see these two little things here flashing. That lets you know there's something new there. Go to the check mark. This is your to-do list. So we saw Timmy being carried off, and we want to set up a camp. This one next to that looks kind of like a tennis ball. Click on that. That'll tell you your current stats, how strong you are, if you're sick, anything like that. If you notice your stamina, your energy, your health, everything is down low. So we want to hit B, get out of here. First thing you want to do is do a 180. Turn yourself around and go to the back of the plane. Grab that piece of paper off the wall. Grab everything you can select. That's alcohol. You want that. And just start walking around and picking up everything. What you're going to do is just keep picking things up. And if they start falling when you pick them up, that means you've had too much of that one item there. So just going to get all this stuff real quick. If you notice on the right bottom corner, you notice you're full now, so that's a good thing. We're full, and another big consideration that we need to think about right now is all that blood on our arms. If you have blood on your arms, that will make you infected. So I don't know where we're at exactly, but since in this case we don't have to worry about cannibals, I'm going to run down to the water just to wash that blood off, because that will make you infected if you don't wash that off pretty quick. So while we're so close to the water, there may be even some water closer to that, but we know this is right here. So I just want to wade into the water, and you'll notice here shortly we'll get deep enough water here, and there's a sea turtle. As now we're in kind of good enough, deep enough water. As you notice, suddenly all that blood is gone. We do see that this is where turtles spawn, so we will be back here. So we're just going to head right back up the hill here. We can basically make our camp anywhere we want. We want to start collecting sticks. You want to open up every suitcase you can. You want to start collecting all this stuff, whatever's in there, till you can't lift anything in that particular category. You got little snacks, you got cloth, you got even clothes, tape, whatever you can find, whatever we can use to survive, we will use that. I try to save the snacks and cokes that I find around the world for an emergency, and then eat the local animals we find and things like that. I don't collect the tennis balls. I don't know what in the world you do with them, so I haven't really worried about them. So I don't know if you throw them at the cannibals, or if you know, ooh, do you see that big spider under that rock there? Ooh, spooky stuff there. There's one more right here. And as you see, we're starting to get a nice little collection there. We want to, on our way back up the hill there, I'm not worried about that bird for the moment, we want to get some sticks, and I'll show you why. We just got off the plane, we've washed the blood off. I'm going to get some sticks here. And here's what you're going to do with your sticks. And I'm going to grab a couple more right here. Hit I for inventory. This is all the stuff we've collected. These little pills here, if your health is way down, click it once with the left mouse button. That'll fill your health right back up. Don't click a bunch of them. Use a bunch. But right click on one stick, two sticks, go to the black cogwheel, hit the right mouse, boom, we've got a spear. There's lots of deer in this world, so we're just going to go here to the front of the plane because we kind of didn't see much. You also, the spear is great for collecting leaves and things like that, which are used in everything from making shelters to creating things. So it's all right there in the menu system. This video will kind of go through the first stage, see what we come up with. Got some batteries there, if you know. I always get all the cloth because here's what you can do with cloth. Let me get in the sun so you can see a little bit. If you hit I for inventory, if you notice right now we already have 20 cloth that quick. If you count 7 of these out by right clicking on them, black cogwheel, right mouse, boom, you got a rope. So you can also right click on any item in your inventory and see if you can build things with it. Just put your cursor on the cogwheel, and if you notice there, we can make a simple bow with stuff that we already have. So what I'm going to do is we already have the rope. I want some tape, I want a stick, and you can always go back and remove things. So if you go back here, if you've picked the wrong things, a rope, a cloth, and a stick. So we just want one of those, and simple as that. Right click, boom, we've got our bow. So it's that quick. Also, you can go here with a stick again, put your cursor on the cogwheel. If you notice that slingshot there, it's a rope, a cloth, and a stick. So we're going to have to make another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the good thing is, we needed one more, it looks like. But it shows you how simple and how quick you can really get started here. Now, this is a nice sunny area right here. I want to walk off to the sides because a lot of times toward the back of the plane, on this side, if you walk kind of right off this way, a lot of times you can find other little areas that maybe has little water pools. They're a great place. You can't necessarily drink the water real well because it is polluted some. Look for bushes that have this little eating sign. If it does like that, that's all a part of it. I've never really found anything really poisonous or anything like that, but I think in this particular case, we don't have much around us, it looks like. We do have the ocean right there. We know we have turtles down there, which is a great source of, we reuse the shells and things like that. So I think in this particular case, since we don't have any cannibals to worry about at this particular moment, let's go ahead and head down here. So kind of some nice areas. You see we got rabbits here in the neighborhood already coming out to see us. So why don't we, let's get a little smaller tree here to start with. We're going to go ahead and switch over to our axe. Oops. And I'm going to light my lighter so you can see a little better. But once again, this is a peaceful game without the enemies in it. For somebody that just kind of wants relaxing kind of a thing to do. A quick hint on when you're cutting trees down, wherever you're kind of facing when you make that first hit, it's going to pretty much fall, in that general direction. Not exactly, but I think in this case, I just want to look real quick here. That's a big old stump there. I was going to walk into the woods just a little bit and see if there's maybe a little water pool or anything like that. When you run too much, that makes you exhausted like that. You always want to be watching the ground for things like aloe vera and things like that you can use to make heal potions. I don't see much in the way of herbs right here, or any kind of little water pools. I'm just kind of more goofing around right now because it's not a big emergency to kind of get away from cannibals or anything like that. So what we'll do is just swing back around where we cut this wood here, and just to show you, we'll just build a temporary little build for the night. Hit B. You want to go here where it's showing this little teepee looking thing here. Let's just do, since we did cut some trees here, let's go ahead and do this. And we're going to create that little shelter because the only way to save your game is to build a shelter. So we got to have a shelter in order to save our game. Since this is the first day and we want to at least get some things done before darkness. So we'll go ahead and start doing that. This is a relatively smaller tree, so I'll take this one down there. And you can adjust, be a little bit closer to the tree, a little farther from the tree, depending if it looks like it's not really doing anything. A lot of times you got to light your lighter so you can kind of see the backside. And there we go. As long as you're behind, you should be okay. Oh well, I thought we were going to break our fort, but probably would have if it was all the way completed. We just need one more in it, and quick as that, we have a lot of this done. Need some rocks and need some sticks, so we need that, but I do want my spear up just in case. That's always a good thing. So you see rocks everywhere, which is a good thing. You never have to worry about rocks, and they respawn a lot. You can only carry like 5 of them. We do want to switch back over to our axe here because we're going to get a few sticks here. I usually run around and pretty much with a full inventory of sticks. It seems like things like that, because they you just use them for so many things. It's good to just have them with you. Good, I'm full on rock. So what we're going to do is come down here as soon as we finish this. You notice instantly we can save. So I would go ahead and save it right now, just so something happened, computer crash or something, or different things can happen, of course. So what we're going to do next is, since we do have our shelter, hit B again. We're going to jump over here to this little fire icon. Oops, I'm sorry, it's one more over. And there you go. I just kind of set it in there like that. It doesn't have to be exact. And boom. So just to review real quick, in that short amount of time, we've made a spear, we've made a bow, we've got a bunch of goodies off the plane in the suitcases, and we have a shelter, we've saved our game, we have a fire going. As you see, there's a lizard right over there. Lizards are great to kill. You know, you can not only eat them, but off the skins, you can actually make armor out of it. Every time you get attacked, normally, or get hurt, it goes down. But in this case, since there's not going to be any cannibals, you really only have to worry about maybe like if you fell off something or. So what we're going to do is go ahead and get us a turtle. I know it's a vicious thing, but you know, this is a matter of survival. You're going to clean the turtle. We're going to take that that shell that we have here, just this one for the moment. And if you're out in the world, anywhere here in the forest, you can always see that little house graphic, and it'll tell you how to get back to your base. So no matter how far away you are, that's always right there. So what we're going to do is go to B again and go there where it shows that little fish icon. We're going to do a water collector. Basically, the sticks in that shell. Let's see. And of course I need 2 more sticks. It always seems you always need 2 more. So now when it rains, we'll have the ability to get fresh water, because you really can't. And there you go, that's done. So we got that done too. And as you notice, we are going to need some water. I still haven't seen any like fresh water pools. Even though the water's polluted, what's great about it is they're usually full of fish. And the fish are very easy to get with a spear, and especially in the beginning. And it's always good to do a base kind of close to the water like that. But you find these little plants here, you can usually eat them. Sometimes they do give you a, you know, a little reaction, but nothing to worry about. And as you notice, really not much time has gone by, and we really kind of got a big jump on things already. One thing we should do is go down to the beach and try to get some. We'll worry about the rabbits and stuff in a while. I wanted to try to get some birds, because once you collect the feathers off the birds, and you want to pick these little stones up when you see them, because we will make a slingshot that's great for birds and things like that. Just want to try to get one bird at least, show you real quick here. You can climb up these. I mean, traditionally when there was cannibals around, you could go up them, because every now and again there might be something there. But with being no cannibals, I would imagine would be anything here. So I see the beautiful mountains off the distance there. And as I expected, there's nothing up here. So we're going to come down off here. But we do have our first little camp close to a source for turtle, which gives us lots of meat. That also gives great tortoise shell to do water collectors. So that's another good thing. And as you can see, you just can't get lost because your house is always showing, no matter if you're 10 feet away or 10 miles away. It's always right there. So that's a good thing. So I think we really got quite a bit accomplished for the really very short amount of time that we've been playing. You can also open your book here, move this log out of the way. You can hit B again, go to your book. You want to scroll through here, and you can kind of look. It's interesting, all the stuff that you can make. But what we're interested at this particular moment in time is, you know, we could make this little bench here. Oops, I went a little too far. It drives you nuts sometimes trying to do these because the ground is so uneven sometimes. So that's not perfect, but that's okay. It's just kind of a temporary base anyway. So we happen to have 2 logs right here. There's another one. Kind of ran away on it. I'll get back over here. And there we have a little bench here. You can kind of just sit down and think about our first day. Oh, there's a kind of a larger bird. So that's about all I'm going to do on this very first video, but I hope you travel along this journey with me. And just a very short amount of time, and we still got a little bit of time before the sun sets, and we're pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and drink a soda. I usually save those for, you know, for an emergency, but in this particular case, since we don't have access to fresh water at this particular moment, we do have 1 water collector up, which is good. As soon as it rains, we'll have some. Oh, I might be able to get the bird here. Always get those feathers anytime they because you can use those in so many things, make your weapons faster. Also, of course, yeah, I've never got one out of the midair. But here we go. I'd like to thank you again. This is Low Whisper, and this is the Forest, and for the PC. And I hope to see you again soon. And have a great night.